welcome back to another episode of the Jagged Edge. It's Ian here along with Chris.
Hey, I'm not quite done eating this.
What you got?
Bunch of crunch.
Ah,
I'm going to have 5 more boxes when Kingdom Hearts comes out.
see. Now I was about to ask, whatever you got, can I have some of it? But no, I get the feeling I'm gonna, get a shipment of that. So
Nope.
I don't have anything to worry about.
Nope. Hi, everybody. Bunch of crunch. Got it. I didn't eat it when I went to the theater yesterday and saw Infinity War for the second time. So this was like stupidly expensive bunch of crunch.
How much do you get now? Is it like tub size or what?
No, it's just a box. The box, the movie theater box.
Okay.
Of candy.
Little rectangular little dude. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I saw Infinity War again.
Catch anything you didn't catch?
I confirmed a couple things. So a little bit of spoiler, but this stuff doesn't play too much into the plot, really. So very minor, very, very minor spoilers. Thanos did destroy all of Xandar.
Ah, that is confirmed. Remember us talking about that.
Yeah, we weren't sure if he had said that he had destroyed all of it or just gone there to get the stone. The other one is that he had only killed, even when invading their spaceship, had only killed half the Asgardians.
There you go. And we were asking about some characters we seem to be missing. I know the Valkyrie, for one thing. What's her name?
Yeah, Valkyrie.
Yeah, just Valkyrie. I didn't see her.
And
so.
the rock guy.
Yeah. I hope
Mort? His name was Mort, I think.
That's right. I was like, I really hope they aren't dead. I don't know.
I don't know.
Wild.
I'm sure we'll find out in Thor 4, because there will be one.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's loving the new Thor so much, so.
Good stuff. Yeah, I haven't gone into...
I mean, he got top billing in this movie.
He rocked. And let's face it, he had the best plan. So...
Yeah. So everyone's got, let's go in this direction, all these different heroes are going in different directions. Let's do this. Let's sacrifice that guy. I'm not giving any specifics away. But what's Thor? Thor is just like, I will get a Thanos killing weapon.
I'm going to kill this guy.
It's so simple it works. You need to kill Thanos, get a Thanos killing weapon.
There. Done deal. I love it. But no, I still gotta slot some time to get in and go see this one again. So
it's
worth
fun. It was chilling because I could tell a lot of people in the theater hadn't seen it. Chilling. It's chilling at the end, and that's all we should really say.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into some spoilery stuff here a little bit later with some discussion about this going into Avengers 4, but I don't, if we don't have to ruin that, I don't want to.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, going into it and everything that happens in the last 5 minutes, it's chilling.
This is, and we said this a lot too. This is an event of movies here. It's not just a random one-off Marvel. If you've been following close, if you've even been semi-following hero movies, do yourself a favor. Check this out, because it's not showing any signs of slowing down in the box office. I know now. I didn't catch the numbers in this, but you did. Look, this was what, 1 billion in like 11 days.
New record. We're going to be saying that with Infinity War a lot.
Yeah, we will. Oh man, that just came out on today. Saturday?
Yeah,
Marvel announced this? Yeah,
just hours ago.
1 billion worldwide within 11 days, and that is one day earlier than Force Awakens. Now, back in 2015, that was the old record holder, but not anymore. This is Marvel's 6th movie to do that. Disney's 17th.
Yep, none of them in 11 days.
Man.
I'm pretty sure at this point Mickey Mouse is like Scrooge McDuck. He's like swimming in the money everywhere. Just swimming through it and just wiping his ass with $1,000 bills and burning piles of it in front of poor people and laughing at them.
It's great, man. And then see, that's what you have to think about with all this, just with how many IPs Disney's taken over and what they own the rights to. This is a machine profit now. I mean, Star Wars and Marvel under the same umbrella with these both record-breaking hits like this in the same company. Golly.
Well, in Marvel doing better
Yep.
than Star Wars.
Yep.
I think it's pretty safe to say now this is the number one. This is the biggest franchise and IP, entertainment IP ever.
Yeah. No, rightfully so. I mean, it's just a whisper of, hey, Wakanda's here. Drive a bunch of people to see this.
I think even though the numbers would be different just because of inflation, I think it's going to be you'll be hard pressed to beat Star Wars when it comes to the sale of toys in
This
games.
is true.
I mean, they could beat the numbers easily because you're going back 30, 40 years. But as far as the amount of toys and such, and it's going to be really hard to beat that.
Yeah.
But plus, just where the market is nowadays with action figures and everything, they're just not as popular as they used to be.
Right.
But just as far as being a movie franchise and having one big connected world, and I mean, no one's come close to this.
No, and it's been earned. It's been a road well plotted. This is something that's been steadily built, and hey, these are the results of it. So it deserves its spot as king. I love it. Cool, man. And the crazy part, this hasn't even hit China yet, has it?
That's nuts. When I saw that today, and I'm like, what? It's not even in China yet, and it's not even in China until next Friday. So it's already like broken records. Now that being said, Star Wars isn't huge in China. It never really has been. I think its biggest movie was actually Rogue One, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but that being said, Marvel is big in China, so this is going to be nuts. When the China numbers come out.
It's just so.
I mean, we were all kind of in awe about Black Panther, but this is gonna just blow that away. This is gonna hit records that the only thing that I think will be able to match them in the near future would be Avengers 4. Besides that, I don't know what could. It may be years, it may be decades. It may hold a record. It may hold records like Titanic did.
Yeah, and it rightfully deserves to. I'd love to see something as nerdtastic as this be on top for a long time. So, man. All right, keep on it. We kept on. We watched Black Panther stuff pretty good, so I keep peeled in this. Keep an eye on it. Sweet. Yeah. Speaking of Marvel, new Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer.
Yeah.
This
not as good as the first one.
Not as good. No, I agree with you there. This is going to be the first film we get coming out of the Infinity War fallout. So I know for one, I'm really interested in just seeing more about the world itself. Who's maybe hints of who's around, who's not, other things that have changed and all that. But this is going to be fun, and this has been a cool rebuild of a character who had a real troubled relationship. All kinds of relationship problems, to be honest. But this looks pretty awesome. What do you think of who they're painting as the villain for this one?
Oh well, I guess it's some character named Ghost. I know they have roots in the Marvel comics. I'm not very privy to that information. I don't really know a lot about it. It was kind of cool that there's a mention of Goliath in there. Yeah. He was almost predominantly a villain. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do all that stuff. It looks interesting. I mean, anything with Ant-Man in it, I'll have fun. Yeah, I'll have fun with. I'll enjoy it, especially even though what's his name? What's that actor's name that played Ant-Man? Oh,
you got me, dude.
Yeah, well,
not on top of my head.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the name of the week.
It always happens on the show.
Week. No, he's always fun.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Now there's two of them this week. The chick, the one from Lost, playing the Wasp. She's always fun. I'll watch anything she's in. Pretty much. Kind of fun that a little bit of resurgence from Lost because there's a new character in Fear the Walking Dead who also had a character on Lost who's in there now. So that's kind of fun. That's I always pop for that a little bit because I was a huge Lost fan. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it looks fun. It looks fine. It looks fun. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. A lot of people complaining because they're like, how the hell could I care about Ant-Man and the Wasp right now after what just happened in Infinity War? And because this looks like it's not going to take place after. This looks like it's going to take place before the events of Infinity War. What I'm hoping is that it does mostly take place before the events of Infinity War, leading up to,
right,
and with the cliffhanger of it, catching up to Infinity War,
right.
And then I'm really hoping that we see Hawkeye at the end.
Yep.
Kind of like, all right, dude, we gotta, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
We gotta join the group. That's what I'm really hoping to see. We'll see. We'll see. And if it does, who's going to disappear?
Yeah.
Who's going to disappear at the? Now I'm damn it, I'm spoiling it a little bit there, but I can't help it though. I mean,
I mean that's the big crux now.
That sucks, man. I don't normally get got by spoilers. You get got by spoilers all the time.
Hey, you got yourself there. So
I did. Damn it. I was so careful about them too, and I walked right into it.
But hey, overall, this is a changed MCU from everything that we've had established up to this point. Infinity War does not leave any of the blocks where you thought they were. Or where they should be in the beginning. This fundamentally changes everything. So any movies following that are something that we really, really, really got to watch closely, and any other hints that they're going to give us. So
and we've talked about this from time to time, but I think considering the events of Infinity War at the end, especially, I really think that this is an opportunity. If we've talked about this from time to time, if they're going to pull in some of the people from the TV shows, now is the time to do it. There's a need for heroes, and I will just say that. And it would, biggest pop ever if just like all this new group of superheroes come to confront the enemy, and it's Luke Cage and it's Daredevil and maybe Coulson and some of the other agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and by that point maybe Cloak and Dagger, which comes out in a couple months. Oh, not even a couple months, month and a half.
Yeah.
And whatever happens with that show, you'll be reviewing that. So
we'll see.
That one, I think what we decided you're going to check out the premiere and go from there.
Yeah,
which I hear. By the way, I hear is really good.
Really?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we left it. I know I hadn't signed on to. I'm going to take the whole thing, but I'm approaching this one cautiously. So.
That your Legion's almost done.
I know. But quick thing about Legion, and I'm going to repeat this on my next episode review as well. Season 2 got extended.
What?
And it's not by a whole lot. It got extended one episode.
Wow.
And they didn't say a whole lot. They just said one more story to tell. So they've added on to what they initially casted for this.
So 9 episodes this season.
Yep.
Oh, cool. That's good. That's good for them. Good for Legion.
Yeah.
That means that people are really watching it, so they're like, all right, let's just drag this out. Let's drag it out.
No.
Yeah, can we get some more money?
No, it's doing good, and rightfully so. It's still an acid trip, just a slightly more lucid acid trip.
It is. I was going to join you for this week's review, and I fell asleep, unfortunately, just because it's been that kind of a week, but I'm watching it. What did I say to you when I talk to you? This is your compensation for not doing drugs when you were teenagers?
Yeah, when I was coming up. This makes up for everything.
This is you trying to fill that gap. People who are older, they didn't go to prom. They have this gap in them, and it's like, I never went to prom. That's you right there for not having your scandalous childhood.
Oh man, but it's crazy. For as many things as you have just in the air, it's just sort of, that's a thing, and that's there. You have some actual more direct advance in terms of one coherent big thing that's happening instead of sort of being all over the place, which is I think healthy for the series. I want to see it. Just for me, it depends how it all turns out, or if they're making any other reveals, relating stuff to X-Men or anything. It's been super self-contained so far. So
yeah,
don't know. but I
That'd be
like
awesome if Deadpool showed up. I don't know. No, but some kind of connection other than showing Professor X's wheelchair.
That's still such a troll.
That is the low point of the series so far.
Yeah.
Here's your connection to the X-Men. It's his wheelchair wheel. Ooh.
And cut. Man.
Yeah. So let's get back to Avengers here. Let's get back to the MCU.
Yeah.
So we've got two movies. Because as you know through the notes, I've slated time I want to talk about this. So
That plug though.
we have two movies coming out before Avengers 4. And there's some news that's come out about some of the things that have happened in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to officially say spoiler talk at this point. And shortly after the show is out, you're going to put in the time as to when spoilers will end?
Yep.
Okay.
I make a note of that.
So, like I said, I don't think Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna happen before Avengers 3, and I think I'm hoping it leads up to the point. I'm hoping we're getting at least 5 minutes, or maybe a couple after credit scenes, kind of connecting tissue going into this. I really think you're not doing the fans justice if you don't do that.
Right.
I mean, to leave Infinity War the way they did, and then hey, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp and their wacky adventures. It's not.
It just doesn't feel like the time to be. Let's go upbeat again.
Right?
No,
they've got to connect it. Now that being said, of course, the other movie that comes out before the second half is Captain Marvel, which is going to be a prequel, but is going to be all about space.
Yep.
Nick Fury's back, Coulson's back, Shield's back. Some of the characters that you've seen from Guardians of the Galaxy's movies, they're going to be around, and that is going to connect in some ways with Thanos. So this is, even though it's a prequel, I'm sure it's going to be connected in a lot of ways.
Right.
Which I think will lead up to, similar to Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, if you saw the end credit scene from Infinity War, this is going to connect. I think, at least at the end of the movie, if not the after credit scenes, to Captain Marvel showing up.
Yeah.
Something that, or at least getting involved.
Right.
Because there's a lot of other things yet that aren't connected to this that I think are going to be. What I think is funny is Captain Marvel in the comics is not an overly popular character.
True.
I mean, they've tried in the last couple of years to really get some momentum under her, and it has worked to some extent. But a lot of people still don't like her, especially after Civil War II.
Yeah.
Not the movie, but the comics basically led to the death of Iron Man.
Ooh.
Which he's of course back now.
Right. You can't have that last too long.
No, you can't die in comics. So. Which is why I think it's so funny, because if people looked at, if they looked at things in the slightest, because so many people are upset about the end of Infinity War. Sorry, we're in spoilers now, so we're in it. So many people upset. I mean, I took my mom to see it, and she was pissed.
Wow.
I mean, she was mad. She's like, I guess I just didn't understand what these movies were all about. I'm like, what? Even though I've been telling her for years, yeah. She's like, who's this Thanos? I'm like, he's the one that's going to kill everybody. Destroy everyone. Man.
I remember some of my coworkers. I was talking to everybody, many months before Infinity War. Everyone was getting hyped up for it, excited for everybody being the same tone. I said, be careful. Be careful about your optimism, because if they're going to stick to anything that they stuck to in comics, this is not going to be a picnic party. Like, right. There's going to be some pain in this one. So, man.
That being said, watching it again, I kind of realized this before, but watching it again, I mean, besides Star-Lord, and I guess to an extent Doctor Strange,
yeah.
I mean, the Avengers, I mean, they lost some guys, but they didn't take a huge hit. Guardians of the Galaxy took a huge hit.
Right.
That being said, the only ones left, you've got Rocket. And what's her name? Starts and
Nebula.
Thank you. It was right there. And she's not really a member.
Right.
That's it.
everybody else. Yeah.
Which is par for the course for Guardians of the Galaxy, actually, because that over the years that team has changed a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, Avengers didn't take a massive hit.
No, I mean, if you look at as far as their core pieces on the board, I mean, you got freaking Thor.
The main four are still there.
Yeah, either Thor, Cap, Iron Man. I'm like, shoot, you got some of the best parts of the team still. A freaking
Hulk, Black Widow.
Yeah.
War Machine.
Yeah, they're good. See, and that's the thing I was happy about because I remember watching that and I was really concerned. I'm like, man, is War Machine gonna bite it? That would suck. But no, he's good. He's good.
I wish he would become a more integral part of things.
I do too.
He's always there.
Yeah,
but he's never critical.
True. This is true, and even when he was introduced, it was always it always just felt sort of the guy on the side, or sort of with like
right.
The spare tech, or I'm just going to go over here and do my thing, but sort of help you guys from the periphery. Like, one can hope.
So. I mean, I'm thinking about this, and I think, we talked in the review that, it's kind of obvious Doctor Strange saves Tony Stark because the one alternate reality where he was able to see the outcome of the fight,
yep.
and they win, obviously he gives up the Time Stone to make sure that happens.
Right.
That being said, I'm not totally sure if Tony Stark is the person who ends up changing it all. I think he just might be the person that at least he knew for a fact had to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. A lot of people are pointing at Nebula and saying she's the one that's gonna get the gauntlet and write everything. I still, they don't just introduce Adam Warlock for nothing at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, they don't.
He is entangled with the Infinity Gauntlet in so many ways in the comics. In fact, I think he's even had it multiple times.
Yeah, you're right. There are a couple friends of mine that were pretty frustrated that we didn't see a thing from Warlock.
Well, I think actually, I've got a feeling that's how they're going to introduce Captain Marvel. Is that she's not going to just come straight to Earth and be like, "What happened? I'm going to come save everything." I think she's going to end up spending some time in the cosmos, in space, trying to get this going and trying to get Adam Warlock involved.
Yeah.
I hope. Maybe not.
Maybe not, or maybe Warlock's just saved for the next MCU arc completely. I mean,
yeah.
Who knows? It could.
It'd be kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But something else that's kind of dumb. I was not too thrilled about this, so just checking out the news pieces and all that stuff. One of the Russos, I didn't catch which one, because there's two of them. There's two directors for this movie. One of them was quoted saying that Gamora is not dead.
What?
And that she is, in fact, her soul is still alive.
Weird.
Yeah, no, so he had just, I guess he'd gotten a question from somebody, considering right after Thanos uses the Infinity Gauntlet and snaps his finger, he gets transported into some, that's, what they were saying, what they were guessing was the Soul Stone, where he sees Gamora.
Huh.
And he had basically said, that she's not completely dead. I don't like that.
I don't either. I mean, that brings some questions of what would that mean as far as if her soul lingers. Okay, so
what it means is that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is Adventure to Save Gamora.
Yeah.
is what that means.
And I was going to say, if there's some portion of her still there, does she somehow become like a take the place or some kind of placebo for the Soul Stone or what? I mean,
right.
Filling.
I mean, it's very easy for whoever gets the gauntlet. If it is in fact somebody like Adam Warlock or somebody who isn't aware of what led up to him getting the gauntlet completed and everything, they can simply just think of undoing all the deaths that Thanos did when he took out half the universe,
right?
Which is very similar to how it's worked in the comics in the past. But all the deaths leading up to that are supposed to be done.
That should be pretty in stone.
And even that being said, it's very easy for them to bring back Vision because he's a robot. In fact, he even turned pale and everything. So I've got a feeling they're going to end up doing that.
Yeah.
which I guess is okay because it's still not completely him. He doesn't, if they follow the comics, he doesn't have a personality or anything. It's basically just a shell.
Right.
But I mean, that being said, they're good. I firmly believe they're going to undo almost all these deaths at least all of them at the very end, which is fine. I mean, there's no way. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is slated already. We know that's happening.
Yep.
Goes in production next year.
Right.
So, but that being said, Guardians of the Galaxy's they've always had a very widely rotating cast. So,
right.
and they've James Gunn has already said that there will be a lot of new cast members in this next one.
Interesting.
So, but Spider-Man could even swerve you too. We know that there's a Spider-Man 2 3 weeks after Avengers 4. And that could even be, they could be like, oh, instead of Peter Parker, that's Miles Morales.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, no, they're not. But
they wouldn't dare.
I'm pretty sure Tom Holland's already, I'm pretty sure if you look at IMDb, he's on there. So
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot, it's pretty obvious. This stuff is very obvious. But, it's like, which makes me wonder, could they bring Loki back? He's already died once and brought him back.
Right.
I'm not liking this. I mean, as much as, just like in the review and we talked about it, and Gamora is my favorite female character in the MCU. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that there's finally one of these movies has some serious consequences.
Same.
Especially this movie.
Yeah.
Especially when I know that most of the deaths in this movie are going to be reversed.
Right. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, undoing the ones that as a result of the spell itself, if you can even call that a spell, whatever. Right. That's sensible, but I mean, with everything we built up to this point, having an impact going into the next arc of MCU, I can't think of a better way than to have some actual permanence, something lasting from deaths that meant something. And it's not like Gamora's was not just a one-off off-screen, like that had a lot behind it.
Right. Yeah, I had like 5 minutes of like Thanos is crying and she's pissed off and laughing at him at the same time, and then she's like, "Oh shit, he's gonna kill me."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
No, the trail of blood and destruction leading up to Thanos completing the Infinity Gauntlet should remain.
Yeah, I agree. Next thing you know, they're gonna want to restore the dwarf's hands.
Yeah.
Don't do that either.
The dwarf guy, whoever that is, that we'll probably never see again.
Yeah.
Maybe in Thor 4.
Maybe. Yeah, one thing everyone was going crazy about, and they didn't know that they were going to see in Infinity War, was the second Thor. Oh my goodness, I should not be.
What, the Dark World?
No, what was it? Billy, Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill, and I didn't put this together at the time. That is his hammer is actually the name of Thor's hammer now.
Yes,
which is not a hammer.
Right. Big old hammer axe.
And it had nothing to do with Groot.
No, it didn't. Yeah. So they framed that whole thing completely differently. And in fact, there was more evidence of this. Some close eyes. If you saw Thor Ragnarok, if I recall, on one of the big outside of like the Colosseum and like one of those big palaces, they had those massive like the head bust of like champions of the past. Like I thought Beta Ray Bill was on one of those.
I would love for them to introduce, if they're going to do a fourth Thor, which there was no plans to do it, but with just how happy everybody was with Thor 3, they're seriously talking about doing a fourth one. I would love it if they took that opportunity to introduce Beta Ray Bill and maybe be a beginning of a new trilogy that starts with Thor and in that movie ends with Beta Ray Bill and him doing the next two.
That'd be wild.
A lot of people love that character. I can't say one way or the other. I mean, I've seen him and he's done some invites in some of my comics and stuff, and he always seems fun. But I think a change of direction would be cool. That being said, the character Beta Ray Bill is, they've taken a very upbeat and comical direction with Thor. That is not him at all.
No. No. He is anything but a smiling Mickey Mouse.
No, but I think you could also play off his serious Stone Cold attitude. You could maybe build some comedy around that.
Easily.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Could it, couldn't. Who knows? But I know when you start introducing him, you start talking about, Stormbreaker, which we already have, or multiple Mjolnirs, two hammers, which we have seen in the comics. That was pretty crazy when Thor got a hold of two at once. Like, man, I don't even know where that would go. So, but no, good theories. Good theories. It's hard for me to cast anything real specific except stuff I want to see at this point. It's just that I'm so pleased with the way we've had told everything we have, and seeing how we're going to tie up any of those other loose threads that are still kind of lingering out there. So, yeah, for me right now, really, I mean, Warlock, is as far as I actually align with you in a lot of upcoming stuff that we've just spoken about here, like what may happen and things like that. I don't really have a whole lot to add to that. I'm in for the ride.
So, I guess one of my biggest questions I have when it comes to Avengers 4, and this is assuming that, and I think it's a safe assumption, someone's going to get that gauntlet.
Yeah.
Someone's going to bring everyone back.
Yeah.
And by that I mean they're going to undo the half universe deaths.
Yep.
Now, is that going to be like right at the very end, or is everyone going to be able to come back alive and kick the shit out of Thanos?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Is Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and especially Star-Lord, who's all kinds of pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Who else? Black Panther.
Yep.
Falcon. Are they all going to come back? And then you've got all the heroes together just kicking the shit out of Thanos. Brutal. And I mean it. Be brutal about it.
Well, he's already...
Almost to the point where the audience is like, oh my God, stop.
I mean, there's room for it. I mean, he's already got a limp.
Oh, I think he'll be fine. Yeah, I know at the end he was limping, so he'll be fine. He's got the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah. All he has to do is think about himself being healed, and he will be.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean that's perfectly evidenced with Thor putting in like a size 52 axe through his chest.
Yeah.
Daggone.
That was pretty badass. I love the fact that they didn't weaken him.
Same.
They could have very easily, and I mean, part of the reason why we didn't see Thor and Hulk too much in the last couple of years was because it's very hard to ignore those nuclear weapons of characters, and it's just like when Thor arrives, it's like, motherfucking Thor is here, changing the outcome of this battle.
He completely turned the tide in Wakanda. There's no denying that. Just seeing him with the Stormbreaker in action was unbelievable. I mean his touchdown alone, knocked down at least like a regiment worth. Golly, man, that was epic.
Yeah. So what do you think they're going to do with Hulk?
The dude's got some reconciling to do. I've had a couple buddies bring up theories that they think this is going to lay the grounds for Grey Hulk to appear, or the different types of Hulks. I don't see that as much.
No, I don't either.
No,
unfortunately.
Right. As cool as it would be. I think as far as for getting to the heart of why Hulk, won't come back out. I mean, let's face it, he got toasted by Thanos. And really coming to that point, what I wonder is, are we going to have the sort of intelligent Banner Hulk hybrid that we've seen at times, Banner with his mind, but in Hulk's body, or is there going to be some other crossing the two personalities? The Hulk itself is in a hard spot because if Banner dies, he dies. I don't see a situation where he just gladly lets his host die, and in the same hand, it's difficult for me to see a situation where he just forcefully jumps out and separates himself in some weird way. That's wacky to me. I think they are going to reach some form of middle ground. I think Banner is going to figure this out and not only be able to trigger the transformation again, but have some other kind of revelation behind it. So this could well lead to, like I was just saying, the Banner we see in the late 90s with the more intelligent Hulk.
Yeah. No, I mean here, it's tough because I mean the Hulk situation in the MCU is a tough one because they can use the Hulk as much as they want, but they can't come out with individual Hulk movies without Universal getting involved.
Right.
And that's why they haven't done any Hulk movies.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, well, otherwise, I think we'd be seeing separated Hulks. We would be seeing Red Hulk, Gray Hulk.
Yeah,
all of these. I mean, the good thing is that they can do this anytime they want. They've already established switching out of Bruce Banner. They can just do it again if they need to. If Ruffalo gets any grayer, which my God,
yeah,
he's not really looking like a Bruce Banner too much anymore.
Right.
Just because outside of the movies, I've never seen a gray-haired Bruce Banner.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the abilities of being Bruce Banner / the Hulk is that, as they've shown in the few movies he's had, he can kill himself and the Hulk emerges.
Yep.
It keeps him healthy. It keeps him alive. So, it's just, yeah. So, I mean, they can do this stuff anytime. Now, that being said, I think if they're going to do any evolution to this character, I think it probably is Bruce Banner / the Hulk.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny because they're really not different people, but they kind of are.
Right.
But I mean, it's like another conscious that's grown inside him, but they're actually not different people. But it sounds like there's a reconciliation that has to happen, which I think you're right, which would probably lead to a merge, so to speak.
Yeah,
be the Hulk, but he'll be smart.
And my thing is, now my one concern about that is because I didn't fully delve into all like the late 90s stuff with it is how much or how little would that actually weaken him, because and to all my knowledge I would think the more version of like the Savage Hulk, like just because of his own inhibitions and he's not really taking the time to process through a whole lot, is just off the top of the cuff much stronger than a totally reasoning intelligent Hulk.
I think it's situational. I think it weakens him to the point where, the part of what makes the Hulk so powerful and ravaging is the fact that he doesn't think.
Yep.
and having Bruce Banner, having an intelligent Hulk makes him weaker just by the process of not applying Hulk smash to everything.
Right.
So that, of course, is the pros and cons of it.
Right on.
So I don't think it actually physically makes him weaker, but it just makes him not quite as destructive.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That being said, it was the 90s, and so that never stopped the Hulk from picking up giant super laser guns and shooting them all the time, which he did.
No, it didn't. Oh, man.
The 90s in comics, the greatest and most horrible thing ever in comics.
At once. Man, that Hulk even appeared in gaming a little bit. In fact, Marvel v. Capcom 2 sort of had like that Hulk. He's not just a crazy smash and when we see an MCU, but it's funny. Then in MVC3, he's basically what we have in MCU. I thought that was kind of good, but
I would absolutely love to see a trilogy, a Hulk trilogy at some point, dealing with all these and. With the different powers that he gets, being a Gray Hulk and a Green Hulk, and getting Thunderbolt Ross in there before that actor dies. He's getting up there. I mean, and you can see it in Infinity War from just even a couple years.
Oh yeah,
you're getting older.
Yeah.
They haven't established a She-Hulk. They could do that.
This is true.
There's all kinds of things that they could do. There's a bunch of awesome stories. Come on, get cracking.
Yeah.
If you can buy out Fox, I'm sure you can buy your rights back from Universal.
Also, She-Hulk's one I'm kind of that I almost wonder. It wouldn't fully take it, but I think She-Hulk, and I kind of think of Deadpool territory of fourth wall breaking and things like that, because she was always conscious of the writers and everything like that. So that could be goofy in and of itself.
But She-Hulk, I think, would work great as a part of a next generation of streaming TV shows.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
sure.
She-Hulk and Blade.
Yeah.
Not the Punisher, because he's got to go paint a fence.
Dude, it's Thanksgiving, or you got to make the turkey.
Dude, I give you guys regular updates on this. So it's coming, man. I was hoping they would take it this far, because they don't always do this with these stories, with these as popular as the Punisher is, as much as everybody knows him, his comic doesn't sell the best. So he's probably like a C-level comic. They don't let what he does, change the world too much. But it's coming. It's coming. War Machine versus Iron Man.
Oh, snap.
He's going to get involved. Punisher's just wrecking so much shit. Just so carelessly. Looking forward to it.
Ooh, that's going to be awesome.
This is like the biggest Punisher storyline in years. How is Punisher Season 2 not about this?
Yeah.
Because he's got to go cook a roast.
Don't forget to fix the axle in the car, too.
Jesus. He's got to go get the soil ready for the garden for this one. I'm sorry. I know people loved it, and I gave it a 3 for its high production value. But it wasn't the Punisher.
Right.
How do you have a wall full of guns, and Punisher uses like 5 of them?
Cross your fingers for season 2, man.
No, it's already going to have Jigsaw. It's already going to be more personal stuff.
Dadgummit.
Yeah. It's not, yeah. I mean, what great way to start a crossover, though, is to have him get the freaking... Rhodey's not even dead, but... No. I don't know. Kill him. Kill him in Avengers 4.
Chris.
Do it.
Now he's got it. It's like, hey, why'd they kill... Oh, okay.
Why did they just kill Rhodes? Why did they just kill Rhodey? Why? Because the Punisher needs the War Machine suit. That's why.
I need to borrow that.
And no one's gonna say no.
It's such a messed up. It's such a good combination. Man.
Yep.
Keep me posted on that too.
Oh yeah, no, I'm having fun telling you guys about it every now and then.
Cool. Also in the line of Marvel. And here it is in spoiler, so you know.
Okay, yeah, we're still in spoilers, I think.
Coming. I was about to go into Deadpool 3.
Oh, okay.
Unless you had something else.
That's a spoiler.
It is technically. Am I clear too? Did you have any other?
No, I'm good. I've rambled on about it enough.
Okay. Ryan Reynolds. He doesn't think there's going to be a Deadpool 3. He did an interview with Star News in Korea. Reynolds said, quote, "For Deadpool 3, it's an odd thing to say, but I don't think there will be a Deadpool 3. I think going forward it would be an X-Force movie, which would be his team, so to speak." Huh.
I think that's a smart way to go.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think that's going to happen. Because by the time they get around to X-Force, it's not going to be owned by Fox anymore.
Right.
Or I should say it's going to be under MCU's hands. It's going to be under Kevin Feige. Yep. And I think he's going to want to squash any X-Men stuff for at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. With everything we've had, that whole jumble.
They might squeak out an X-Force movie.
Right.
I don't know, because and it looks like everything's going to go through, which means that it'll happen sometime in the next year.
Right.
So I don't know. That being said, in theory, if things were to continue the way that they are continuing right now, I would say that is a smart idea, because as awesome as Deadpool is, this shtick is not going to last forever, pushing its own movies.
Right.
And the best way to go is to have him there on a regular basis, interacting with other characters, especially other superheroes. But you got to have to take the spotlight off of him.
Yeah. Back off a few clicks.
I mean, and he can only work off of past things like Wolverine and the continuity errors of the X-Men universe under Fox and all that stuff. You can only do that so much. So you put him in a situation where there's more material being produced right in front of him,
right?
Like a group movie. I think that would be a great idea.
Sweet.
I don't know. Maybe they put him. Maybe Disney, maybe MCU puts him aside for a while.
It might be the healthiest option. I mean, he's one of those where I don't think you have to have a running commentary or continuous Deadpool movies, to to come out and cast the next landscape for Marvel movies. It's not that. This is still something that's sort of on the side from big events like Thanos and stuff. So it could you could shelve it.
That being said, I mean, they're obviously trying to build momentum with Deadpool 2. You know, it's like the first Deadpool is establishing this character and establishing this kind of movie, and obviously it did better than everyone thought it would.
Right.
The second one is trying to bring everybody's attention back to Deadpool, but at the same time introduce these new characters by, obviously, I mean, if you look at that last trailer, this is all about world expansion.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the X-Men, you've got X-Force, you've got Peter, you know, which, by the way, Peter's going to just own them all. But do you remember Peter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The regular dude?
Yeah, regular dude.
Yeah.
We're all in trouble.
So I'm just going
Actually, I hope he just dies the worst one best. Like when we see him jumping out of that helicopter, I hope he just splats on the ground.
Deadpool's such a troll.
Or he gets to the end and just gets slaughtered, whatever. Yeah. Because you got some ninjas going in there with swords and stuff. Maybe they just cut him up. He can't make it. He
can't. Or he gets shot by Cable or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Destroyed by Cable. What do you think Cable will end up being good at the end? You can't have X-Force without Cable, at least not for long.
Right. I mean, it seems, you know, I haven't looked at this enough to see if we even know what the heck he's after. You know, but it seems
he's after the fat kid.
It's the kid he wants. All right, because it seems that Deadpool is sort of just like a bump in the road for him. You know, he's not there to fight some kind of arch nemesis battle, or it's like kind of like, no, dude, get out of my way. You know, I'm really not. I'm not trying to feel you at the moment. Get out of here. But no. And Deadpool's just in his face all the time. But he could. I think that is very possible, depending what happens and depending what the actual circumstances are. So.
Well, and then let's say he does join X-Force, and then Fox goes to Disney, and then Disney decides they want to, or Marvel Studios decides they want to continue X-Force, and then Josh Brolin's playing both Thanos and X-Force and Cable.
That'd be messed up.
Yeah, it would. You totally have to have them fight each other then.
Totally.
Can Cable defeat Thanos?
I don't. Well, okay. What Thanos are we talking? I mean, we're talking. You know.
Oh, not Infinity Gauntlet Thanos.
I didn't figure we were. Nothing's gonna touch that. But just straight out with just tech.
I don't think so. I guess it doesn't. I don't think the greater question is which Thanos, but which Cable.
Yeah, no, it actually is. And plus, would his disease going out of control, how much would that benefit him against Thanos or not? So,
I could totally see Cable just at least momentarily putting his telekinetic powers aside from fighting that disease for a moment to do something horrible to Thanos, probably killing them both.
Probably, I could see it. Definitely. That arm ain't healthy, man.
We are digging deep into the nerd territory.
Yeah, we are.
But what I like most about this comment is that it's Ryan Reynolds saying it, which is awesome because that's, basically the big star saying, yeah, this probably isn't the best for me to keep leading this like this.
Right.
I like that. I appreciate that. The guys always appeared to be, let's do what's best for the franchise, for the property. Definitely. So I like the idea. I don't think we'll ever see it.
Yeah.
Just like New Mutants.
Yeah, about that too. I think of New Mutants and I think of Inhumans in the same breath.
Well, yeah, don't do that. They're radically different.
Yeah, my bad.
But I also think they're dropping the. Again, if Fox was to continue on with their plans, I also think they're dropping the ball by not including the New Mutants, forming that into X-Force.
Right.
Whatever.
It's a mess. This is a situation.
It is a big fucking mess.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. You don't always get. You're right in the middle of a big migration of some major names and a big IP and finally the rights changing over and changing hands and these are weird situations like we said with Josh Brolin and then the stuff with X-Men and then everything else that Deadpool set up may or may not do and X-Force. This is weird. Most of the times we make these jumps. the waters have been still. Things have been a lot calmer, and you can sort of pick and cherry pick what the next movies are going to be or how things will reboot or evolve. But I don't know. It's all shaky.
Hey,
here.
I got a question for you, and this goes back to Avengers topic because we should have brought this up before, but this isn't going to be spoilers.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this weeks ago. We did not see Silver Surfer in Avengers 3. Do we see Silver Surfer in Avengers 4?
Great question. Great question. He would be, man. I'm almost saying with everything that's going to be happening in Avengers 4, especially if you bring Adam Warlock into the picture, because that could bring a lot more things. I still say Silver Surfer would be an awesome tie-in. Even, you know what? Even if he was an end-credit tie-in, starting to talk about the expansion into Cosmic and getting more involved with this other side of the MCU, I could still see it. But I think there's room there than anything. The more I start to think about and look at this, I'm like, you know what? That Avengers 4 seems so jam-packed already. It's going to seem sort of difficult for someone else to come in here and be, hey guys, by the way, Galactus is coming. Just saying. I mean, we've got enough on the plate already.
What's the matter? All it takes is a little snap of the fingers from Thanos, and Galactus isn't coming.
Yes. Oh man.
I'm sure Thanos, if Galactus exists in the MCU, Thanos is well aware who he is and what he can do.
Oh yeah. Not past.
If I remember correctly, doesn't Galactus have a pretty strong hate on Thanos? That is a rival. Yeah, that's a rivalry that's actually happened. That's had quite a bit of space. That in some what if stories has led to Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Epic.
Yeah,
man, Cosmic Ghost Rider. And then the Spider-Man crossover. We had a Cosmic Carnage at one point.
Oh boy,
that was crazy. Like
always is with Carnage.
I forget how they even solved that. That shouldn't. Yeah, the world just should have ended when that happened. I forget how they got that one.
So yeah, I don't know if they would get into all that stuff. They've got so much to choose from.
Wild.
Okay.
Cool. Gaming. Flipping the channel. That is looking at Rockstar Games here. Red Dead Redemption. We had our third trailer released for this. Now, I never got into any of the original Red Deads or any of that. Like, I never played what comes before this, but we got a trailer that seems really, really story-driven. And, in fact, Chris and I were talking about this a bit before the show. This trailer was like watching that... Wait, second trailer for Last of Us? Yeah, second trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Second trailer.
First trailer.
First trailer to Last of Us without playing the first game. Like, you really don't have much of an idea. I mean, graphics-wise, it looks really solid and everything. But while I really didn't have a whole lot to base here, but people are excited about this. You know, Rockstar is known for the GTA series. First and foremost is, and I think of the sandbox open world, exploratory game and stuff like that. Like,
People love the shit out of this game, though.
Oh yeah, and I mean this has gotten. I always see a lot of press for this when I'm looking at upcoming gaming news and whatnot. And see another trailer drop forward. It's already really blown up. There's been a couple of announcements that came along with this. You have a completely customizable HUD you can use this time, and there is an honor system in the previous game, kind of like they have this in like Skyrim and stuff like that too. How other NPCs and other places relate to you and how you come across if you're like an outlaw or if you've adhered by code of the law. Whatever you've done is going to have an impact on how you deal with characters in the rest of the game. So that's going to be here again too, and that sort of has a Mass Effect vibe to it as well. So it looks like there's going to be plenty to do here, plenty of content. Another one that I don't see myself personally getting into, but I think this is going to sell really well. So,
first I have some advice for you.
Yeah,
and I'm surprised I never noticed this before. But if you're ever done with your box of Bunch of Crunch, smell the box.
Does it smell good?
It smells awesome. Oh my gosh! Oh, it's like a treat in a treat.
Well, I'll find out at the end of this year, and you send me some.
No, you ain't finding out. I'll tell you all about it. And I'd randomly text you. I just got done with box number 3. Smelling it. Smells good.
Oh man.
All right. I didn't play Red Dead Redemption. I mean, it looked awesome. I know the hype train was behind it big time.
Yeah.
The most interesting part of this trailer to me was what the text in it said, actually laying out the plot of kind of, where this world is and
Right.
what kind of world they're playing in for this one versus the last one, which sounded like a really interesting premise to me. Obviously, adding on to that is how the storytelling, which you could see in this trailer, how the storytelling is going to work. That being said, as far as the details of what was going on in this trailer, I didn't know. I'm just like, okay, well, who are these people? And it weighed heavily on the fact that you know who these people are, you know what's going on.
Right.
I mean, that's fine. It's not the only trailer for Red Dead Redemption. I mean, so yeah. I'm sure it'll kick ass.
Yeah, no, it works. It's part of the other big names. GTA. I think even after all these years, especially the open world GTA 4 is still kicking butt. Like people point to that as an example of what they love to see in constant free roaming and stuff like that. So it's always funny to see the group who set the bar doing it again, and in what ways do you build on something like that? That's already a really successful formula. So check out the reviews once it's going to hit. And I think, I didn't have it directly. I don't know if you happen to know off the top of your head. The release date for this, it should be soon.
I don't think it is soon. I think it got pushed back to October.
Did it get moved? I can't remember. Yeah, it did. End of October. October 26th.
That was on our list, and it's like, oh, it's coming out in October. Well, never mind. We got a bunch of stuff then.
Yeah. So, on the back burner. Also, we did have another trailer that hit. This is a launch trailer for State of Decay 2. Those of you who love the zombie apocalypse.
That's me.
Look no further. I was saying that I instantly saw some flashes of Fortnite here, but I got to be careful with that because State of Decay already had a lot of this stuff in the original game as well. The idea of grouping resources, finite resources at that, to survive, sort of using like the sandbox themes and stuff like that. This is on the heels of another game, which I'll talk about soon. Fortnite's had just a meteoric rise, and I almost see this as the more slightly serious cinematic version of the zombie apocalypse than what we have in Fortnite, which is a much more cartoony style and a lot more to do with the multiplayer, the free play, the battle royale elements. Whereas this seems a lot more focused and driven. So the trailer for this one, there was really. They didn't go into features too much. It was really just some basics about the world itself.
Yeah.
As far as just from what I pulled from it, but if this is going to take any grounds off the original, you're probably still going to have what it's shaping up to be at least the same sort of third-person style combat, the base building, the resource management. That's the part of it that kind of gives it a command and conquer vibe, but this is far from an RTS because you're still in the whole survival horror and thrown in that whole realm. So, shaping up well, looking pretty cool. Now it's been a few years since we had one of these, number of years actually. The original State of Decay hit June 2013. So seeing this now about to hit again in 2018 is pretty cool. 5 years. Some people have missed it, and this is real soon. The 22nd of this month, it's gonna be here.
Yeah, I mean, this is mainly for Xbox, Microsoft exclusive, I believe. So this is gonna make a dent in PUBG. This is not even going to touch Fortnite.
No, which is just killing it.
Well, let me rephrase, because it may even take a sizable amount of people away from Fortnite, but as far as the general mass amount of people that are playing it, it's going to really be a blip.
Yeah, and Fortnite's model too. There's once you sort of get in and get your basics established, like the team you're part of, the camp you build / defend, the battle royale element. That Fortnite has a much more touch and go investment. Jump in, maybe get an hour or two of battle royale gaming, and then jump back out. Whereas, I imagine with this, you actually have to sit down and plod through a bit more. But, just looking at that too, I want to be side by side because we mentioned Fortnite a few times, and there's another game beside this that I think is pretty important to magnify. That's Fortnite and FF15, and I put both of these in the same boat because I'm looking at some trends that these are doing that might have a huge effect on games going forward in the industry, or might not. Could just be a one-off thing. So I want to go back.
I don't know. I like the fact that you put them in the same boat. We should sink that boat.
Well, because it has Square Enix in it?
Well, I don't care about Fortnite one way or the other.
Yeah. But
I certainly appreciate what they've done, but...
Oh, no, for sure. No, I'm with you. But it's worth looking at. I want to go back to some announcements we had at a little earlier, a few months ago at PAX East, and a lot of people were kind of surprised when they heard for FF15 that there are still more expansions coming out for this. There are 4 new story expansions that are planned. And, at first this was something that was poked at by people as, well, incomplete game, we're still getting stuff to come out. But this is more of, like, a purposeful, we listen to feedback, and this is stuff we just want to add, just straight out. And this idea of taking an RPG, and instead of being an out-the-box, here you go, this is it, that it keeps growing, that it keeps expanding, that you keep having extra episodes on top of it, is giving this sort of DLC brand something different. Those of you who played Chrono Trigger back in the day, you may remember New Game Plus, when you finished the original, and then you could go back with your gear and stuff that you had at the end of your original save and sort of get back through the game with new challenges and stuff like that. That's effectively what you get with 15. Now, not in every regard, not in every episode, because you have slices of everyone's story that's different. You had an episode for Prompto, you had an episode for Ignis, and then for Gladio, and now we're talking about doing so for Aranea and the rest of the cast. So this is just expanding and expanding, and these are more giving you bigger pieces of lore than anything else. But that really sort of counters the narrative that, this is just extra stuff they intended to release, and then now they're just throwing it just because it wasn't finished in the first place. No, they're straight out adding to it. Now, I put that next to what Fortnite's doing for DLC. Now, as they've had explosive success, and they're still going forward with their play seasons. With Season 4 about to come out, things like that. Now, instead of sitting back on their laurels and just watching the cash flow in, they're constantly trying to keep players engaged by new items, new fresh content, new things on maps, changes to maps, scaling back, rebalances of things, a lot of stuff to make people continue to invest. And if anything, people just love picking up different types of glam, or limited time weapons, or limited time piece gear, or things to invest in their forts. So, both games here have given us DLC beyond just a skin, or something you can pop in a character, or just a one-time add-on, or something like that. I mean, these are pretty robust add-ons, especially FF15. I think the last time I played something with a big add-on to the main story was Ashura's Wrath, and that was a one-off crazy game. Loved it, PS3. But that was really a way to see the full ending, and that DLC was worth it. It was awesome DLC. It was an entirely extra chapter on top of the game. It had some more stuff with the other modes, and an extra difficulty and an extra episode on top of it. So it was awesome. It was really well done, and I said, any DLC done like that can keep building the story, yeah, that's the kind of stuff you need. So, all that being said, I have not played through all the extras for FF15 stuff, but I know that these are pretty broad. I've done one of those, episode Gladio, but there's still a couple of other episodes that I'm missing, and I know I'm going to be way behind in these other ones too. So, yeah. I want to ask, for as far as RPGs and getting something, a game out the cannon in your hands, do you believe it should be self-contained? How much do you think this stuff should grow, continue growing, or should it just stop and just be what it is when it's released? Or not?
Well, I gotta say, for the most part, doesn't sound like I like what you're saying, but I think it needs clarification.
Sure.
Because I think... your fucking roar's bothering me. Silly cat. What? Alright. Okay, so I think that I think these games need to have a completion.
Yeah.
that comes with the package. The game should have the start, the middle, and the end. What the game that they purchased. That being said, side stories, behind the scenes, like things that happened before they all met up or whatever, or little side stories with one or two of the characters. These are different. These are off the base of the main story.
Right.
So I think that's fine. Kind of, things that are maybe non-canonical. You talked about Chrono Trigger, and when you start a new game in Chrono Trigger, after you beat it, you have all your stuff. There's other challenges. That's fine. And doing the story again and doing the story differently is also fine, but it's not canonical.
Right.
So I think those things are fine. Expanding the playability of that game in ways that involve story elements is just fine. But if you're selling this game and you're not finishing the story, and you're finishing the story with DLC, that's not fine.
Right. Which makes sense. 15 did things in an interesting way. When you finish it, when you beat the original, I'm not spoiling anything, I haven't gone through it, but it's not
I
just...
don't think anyone cares. I'm just kidding.
You say that, I know. It's not just a staff roll, just in credits and boom, just press start again or just load your save. Like that's it, just a big the end. No, like you can come back in and there are still things you can explore and do and expand on after that. So that really felt MMO-esque, and I know that sort of threw a lot of people off probably at the start of whoa, I don't get a big end because FF6, FF7, FF8, 9, 10.
You don't have to say FF6, 7, 99%.
99%
of MMOs.
Of MMOs will do that. So,
right.
But no, it's that simple. But
so you don't get a definitive story with Final Fantasy 15.
It depends how you look at it. I believe you do. Honestly, it feels capped off enough for what you get, but it feels like this world itself and all that still goes on, and there's still things happening and things developing and stuff. I mean, it's pretty crazy and stuff. In fact, the stuff at the end of 15 and and all that with Noctis. And Woody does get back his kingdom, but yeah, it's just the way they've chosen to sort of continue all this and tell the extra stories and the rest of it. Yeah, that's a key point. They haven't been just straight out add-ons oh, whoops, forgot to give you more ending. Here you go. Here's another episode. No, here's X character that played a pretty big role. All right, here's a separate side story that dealt a lot more while they were doing this, while this main thing was happening in the main storyline that you beat. So,
okay, so I guess what I have to say, and I guess my opinion of it is, all right, this is an evolution to MMOs that is kind of frightening. They or not MMOs, RPGs. Unless it's an expansion or something like that, unless it's a huge evolution of the current game that you had bought. No, this is games as a service, and that in itself is fine. But there should be a bookend to your initial game.
Right.
And it sounds to me, what you were describing, as Square Enix is muddying this water on purpose to get more money, which is, okay, fine. So I guess my definitive statement is, this is why I don't play RPGs anymore.
Right. I get it. I get it. I think there's a certain completion that comes with finishing RPG that's just, all right, book closed. It feels like you've read a good book or something like that.
It feels like, oh, you beat the game.
Yeah. Whereas I say leave the continuity and stuff to MMOs if they really want to go with that and do that. I don't think every game needs that. And I think, frankly, a lot of what we have and what we've seen in these cases have been fleshed out enough to we're good. Like I said, the announcement, people weren't mad about the extra stuff for 15. In fact, oh, hey, that's cool. But nobody expected it. Or I didn't see a high demand on the table for an RNA side story and stuff like that. I could just be completely misgauging what people were, looking for out there. But it's not something I regularly ran across.
So let me give you an example of somebody who did this right. which, by the way, shocking, will not be a Square Enix example. The Last of Us, which I think is a comparison as far as the story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's a completion to this game. That being said, you can go back, you can play through other stuff, you can do things in different ways. Obviously, this is not an example, but where it is a damn good example is that there is a completion to this game. And then that being said, there's even kind of a prequel story that you can do, depending on the version that you bought. It's DLC or it came with the game. It's a little bit of a side story with Ellie, which is a great small continuation to the core mechanics of the game. One of the characters, it's great in that. Now, that being said, if you still want more Last of Us, even to this day, years from now, there's still a thriving versus system within the game that you can continue to play, which gives you the ability to play with the core functions of the game, not your characters, but you can even make characters, and I believe there's a certain amount of building up to them.
Right.
All right. That, and anyone would say that The Last of Us is as story-driven as any RPG.
Right. Right.
So I think that is a good example.
Fair enough.
And for the versus part of the game, there's a ridiculous amount of DLC. That some things are free, some of them you can pay for like certain clothing for your versus character, to certain weapons. And if you want to spend money on this, you can, but you're not at a massive disadvantage if you didn't either.
No.
So that I think is a good example. But when you're talking to your friends about the game of Last of Us, or even strangers, and you're trying to have a conversation about this game with people, you can say you played Last of Us, and that's all you need to say.
Yep. Enough said.
That's my point on it. Now, how that differs? Now, you're the only one out of the two of us that have played both those games. Are they radically different as far as how they establish the definition of I played this game?
Yes. And I say that because both of these games occupy some different spaces. Like you said, Last of Us is just sort of, I've walked this road. Then you'll get that nod and it's like, yeah, I get it. You say so much by noting that. Whereas with 15, it's okay, yeah, I've completed it, I've gone through the original, and it's like, oh, okay, did you continue to do this? Oh, well, did you see episode this? Did you see episode that? Did you see episode this? Did you see episode... See? So it's not just the road. It's everything else surrounding the road, which is kind of unfortunate to me. I mean, I know a lot of love went in those extra episodes and stuff like that, but coming away from Last of Us, I like relating those contained stories like that. Being able to relate of, yep, I've walked that. Or not that I've had time to go through every extra episode. So, yeah.
Well, and I think even with my comparison, where that comparison suffers is the fact that normally for decades RPGs have had side stories and stuff that you can do during the game, or if you've completed it, you can do them after. And I think that's different, but that's a different conversation.
It is.
That's that would be like if you're talking to somebody about an RPG and they're like, oh, did you do this part, and did you go to the cave and get this, and they'd be like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't know that's different. And that's where the comparison I think doesn't quite lend itself to the conversation. But that being said, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about an extension of the game.
Right. And to what point is it or is it not detrimental, and what does it do to flesh out the rest of the game overall? So yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at it with all the stuff that you had about Fortnite. All right, good on Fortnite. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's how do you create a free game and just become a monster of the industry? Yeah, Fortnite. Which by the way is nothing more than, if you didn't know, is nothing more than a version of some of the core function of the game they even intended to make. Yep.
So, and
this is a weird repeating trend. Look at look at the stuff Blizzard set off with Overwatch. That was such a small, self-contained thing that wasn't even a fully vetted out, fleshed out, shooter with all these crazy story elements and all of this. And no, it just had huge success. It rode on the multiplayer alone and blew up. So
people, well, in the case of Overwatch, that's all there is.
Yeah. But,
no, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, crazy stuff to see.
My nephew loves it.
Yeah, I was about to say
he doesn't even play Overwatch too much anymore. He just plays Fortnite.
Wow. Does he have a group of his friends that they like, I don't know, clan up or something, and they?
Well, he has a group of friends, and they all play, and they love the fact that Fortnite is, one of the few games that allows for cross-console play.
Yeah.
So he loves that because a few years ago, when they were looking at the new consoles, my brother was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about getting an Xbox One." I'm like, "Don't you dare walk that lonely road." He's like, "No, they are getting one." I'm like, "Yeah, but trust me, you will not be happy with your selection." The jury is already back on this one. Xbox lost, and most of them, by the way, have gotten a PlayStation 4 at this point.
There you go.
No, so yeah, they play a lot. I told them I was going to start playing. I was going to download it, and then I was going to spend a bunch of money to build up the guy, beat the ever-living shit out of him on a regular basis. I was going to spend my way to success.
Pay to win.
I'm just going to troll him. He's like, it's awesome. Because he's 12.
Right,
so,
right.
And he knows I was a pretty big gamer at one point, and he knows I like heckling him, but he just looks at me like, whatever, but there's still that look in his eye like, is he serious?
Is he gonna do it?
Because I'm Uncle Chris. I'm kind of crazy. 99% of the time, I'm normal and fine, but it's that 1% you gotta watch out for, because when I go 1%, I go all the way.
Oh, man. I gotta admit, it would be pretty funny seeing you become the supervillain for your cousin. For your nephew. Oh, it's gold.
He knows I harbor just a little bit of resentment that he didn't get Battlefront 2.
Oh, see the seeds for it. It's there. He knows his sins.
Yep. Yep. Because he knows that if I would have known he wasn't going to, I would have at least gotten it on PC.
Of course.
And I'm grumpy about it.
He better watch his back.
I'll pop up. I'll even name my Fortnite character Uncle Chris.
Oh,
I'll buy everything I need to go in there and just destroy him.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday.
Should have played Star Wars.
No, I'm still going to do a review on that. Season 2, they just announced Season 2. The refined, what should have been the original version of the game came out not last month, March at this point.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting to see what Season 2 is going to bring. They put Ewoks in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait, are you... So it's
I haven't played it in a little while.
Okay, it's just Ewok Spirit, because I was trying to think, what was that planet they found him on again?
Endor.
Endor, of course. Man, I'm out of Star Wars shape. And we just went through May the 4th, good lord.
Who cares? No one cared about May the 4th. Everyone's salty about them killing Luke. So am I. I saw a few, May the 4th, get out of here. We're not celebrating this year. We'll see how Solo is. We may not celebrate next year either. And if you screw up episode 9, we're not celebrating anymore.
Ever.
You're done.
Oh, that's gold.
But as excited for May the 4th as I am Rose Tico toys. Have you seen this trend, by the way, on the internet in general about just making fun of Rose Tico action figures?
No.
Do you even remember who Rose Tico is?
No, I do. Okay. I didn't see the trend going around.
It's hilarious. All the things people are doing with Rose Tico toys, because they're selling for $1. Stores can't get rid of them. Nobody wants these Rose Tico toys, and so it's kind of funny, all these things that.
Oh man, poor Rose.
No, not poor Rose.
What was that line she said? Never mind. I can't even quote it now.
But the one at the end,
Yeah.
some garbage about you know what? I don't even know.
You know where I'm going with that, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. I mean, we can't. Never mind.
I'm bringing up some painful memories.
Man. Solo's looking better. It's looking better.
Is.
I finally saw a preview for Solo where the actor, I can't remember his name right now, actually looked and sounded like Han Solo. I was like, whoa!
There you go.
I'm like, yes.
There you go. That's what we need.
Yes, except for the whole movie of it. I mean, obviously a little bit different because he's younger, but
right.
You're not convincing me yet.
Right.
I'm not there. So I hope so. They said that the ticket sales have come out and they're doing really well. They're tracking better than Black Panther. I don't believe you.
Same.
But I'm sure it's doing well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it will. I mean, I've already said, even right off the bat, the world built around this and all the periphery characters are look really strong. And I mean, this puts this up in the viewing box for me, just to see what all this is, built on, the foundations, and then the early young Lando Calrissian. That's just awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there to check out. So
I'm wondering if this movie is really going to be Lando and not Solo. Because Donald Glover's looking awesome.
Yes, he is
as Lando.
Yes, he is. Man.
Or maybe instead of Solo, maybe it's Chewie. He should have been Chewie.
Because Chewie's old.
Yeah, he's old. I knew he was old. I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, then, in New Hope, he's probably around 200. So then for The Force Awakens, he's around 235.
That's crazy.
So, but I knew he was old.
Right.
I mean, I know enough about my Star Wars lore to know that Wookiees live a really long time, and so he probably had as well.
Right.
I didn't know definitively what it was, though.
Right.
Anyways.
I think it's time for an info minute.
And this rambling edition of the Jagged Edge. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to smell my bunch of Crunch Box while you talk about the info.
All right, this could gross you out, though. It probably won't gross you out at all. Who am I kidding? AI and roaches. These are never two things I thought I'd be putting in the same sentence at all. But yeah, turns out there is a spot in the world that is culturing, growing roaches by the billions for a potion. I mean,
What?
Yeah. I mean, when you have
a potion?
Yes, stick with me here. When you have a stomach ache, right, or something's bothering you, the first thing you think of is grinding roaches up, and then drinking that to help you out, right?
No doubt. I just did it yesterday.
See, it's a go-to. You will, heck, you be right at home over in China. It's funny, because at least 3 or 4 of my info minutes recently have all come from China. Anyway,
China.
Don't even. This is it turns out there is a massive artificial intelligence powered facility, kind of like a factory, located in Xichang. This is in the southwestern Sichuan province of China.
Is it called Skynet?
Not quite.
Okay.
Although this was shaping up to be like Roach Skynet or something. It's not. But yeah, they're cranking out more than 6 billion roaches a year. It's this potion, which is described as sort of having like a tea-like color, kind of sweet, like your Bunch Crunch, and kind of fishy smell to it. It sells for roughly about $8 for 200 milliliter bottles. So anyway, but no, seriously, this potion is supposedly used to fix stomach issues mainly, but there's doctors that actually prescribe it for just about anything. It turns out this is from a South China report that over 40 million patients in China actually apparently use this potion. It's been sold to over 4,000 hospitals across all of China, and again, it's supposed cure for everything from gastric problems to respiratory issues to, yeah, you name it. So, the Chinese government has been behind the healing power of roaches for years. They even went as far as to push a nationwide study designed to look at the health benefits of like insects through laboratory work and clinical trials and things like that. And really just pointing about how much of a miracle this all is. But yeah, now the funny part about it is they've already noted that if something were to go wrong with this facility, okay, if this shut down or if the roaches got out, this would cause a disaster. Because
this is Skynet.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine like 3-4 billion roaches just or more just going nuts all of a sudden everywhere?
I think I've actually seen that movie.
Oh man. I mean, it's sure it's in like a controlled environment and everything like that. And look, the concept of insects for nutrition, that isn't something that's foreign. People talk about spiders and worms and whatnot, and proteins for survival. And I think the thing they look at for roaches is like this sort of like one of their proteins that's supposedly healthy with this potion. It's like this milk-like crystal.
Okay, I have to stop you. You have to stop saying potion. Okay, we're not playing Final Fantasy 15 right now.
They call it a potion.
Do they?
I'm just going by what it says.
It's a potion.
If tonic makes you feel better,
tonic, just medicine.
I am literally going by every bit I looked into this. Nobody will stop calling it that. I know it bothers me too. So now here's what I want to ask: is it a high potion? Is it an X potion? Is it a mega elixir? I mean, what are we talking here?
Sounds like a mega elixir.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm sorry. You said it like 5 times now.
Yeah.
It's not a potion. Potions aren't real. Potions that is the word that you use for mythical drinks that are supposed to have corrective properties.
I don't know. This sounds pretty mythical.
But it's not. It's real.
Well, you can argue with China about the naming of it, but yeah, roach pots. Have fun.
A potion, as defined by Google,
Look at this guy.
is a liquid with healing, magical, or poisonous properties. See, now look at it. Healing or poisonous. What?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a good potion.
That's a wide range. It's good or bad. Other words, concoction, which probably would have been the best word to use for what you've been talking about. Brew, elixir, drink. There's others, but not potion.
Now I know what bothers you all. I'm gonna start calling your soda pop and stuff that. Cool.
Yeah, mine is a brew. No one likes my soda. I love it. I don't, because when you're at work and you're like, I don't want anyone drinking my soda, so you put a note up. I don't have to put mine up. I drink Diet root beer, specifically Diet Barks root beer. Nobody wants that.
Nobody's touching it.
And I don't have to put up a note anywhere. No one's touching my stuff. My new job, there's a note up. Please do not drink the Dr. Pepper. I thank you ahead of time for respecting my drink. And which, by the way, because Dr. Pepper people are either they hate it or they love it. What camp are you in? By the way.
Well, dude, I stopped drinking soda years back. I don't.
Well, what camp were you in?
I guess love it. I didn't hate it.
Yeah. I hate it. So I've never but it's just people, they have to do that, and it's just funny. It's like, I'm not going to touch your stuff, but yeah, no one touches my drink. But I don't think anyone's drinking cockroaches either. I mean, so where does the AI come into this? You lost me on that part.
Yeah, so the AI, it's an AI controlled facility. Basically, the AI manages all the conditions to keep roach production at peak.
Okay, so like literally what? So probably like one guy works there and he just supervises everything?
I don't even know if one guy, to be honest, if it's fully. I mean, I would think somebody would have to, look at the system of the system's maintenance at some point, make sure something's not
Right.
bad, something's not going to explode. But yeah, it's pretty much autonomous.
It sounds like a premise for a movie,
It does.
and I hope we get to see that play out.
I don't.
Well, it's not going to bother us.
You say that.
China's pretty big, man. It's not going to make it through all of China.
That's true. But then trade. I mean, we've
Are these the big nasty cockroaches?
just roaches.
Oh, okay, not like those huge ones that you see on Fear Factor all the time.
Yeah, the jerks that survive nukes and fly around and stuff. Yeah,
All right,
about that. So
there you go.
all right,
Your daily dose of cockroaches.
drink up.
I wonder what it tastes like.
See, now you're wondering.
Yeah, no, I am wondering. I wonder.
It's I'm willing to bet if you tried this and if you didn't know what it was based on, the what it actually is based on is the last thing you think of. Probably never would. I
What?
bet.
Was that a sentence? I don't even understand what you just said.
If you tried this, that is, if you tried your Roach homebrew, okay, it probably would not, and assuming you didn't know what it was based off of, assuming you didn't know what it was made up of, it probably would not taste like the thing that it actually is made up of.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Here's the thing. I would probably, if it was that good for you, and even if I knew what it was, I would probably drink it. But the moment I saw a piece of a leg or a piece of a wing,
You'd be done.
that's it. No more. We're done. We're done. I'm not. Nope. But you're gonna get unhealthy. All right. Well, that's okay. I don't need to see a bug head in my drink. But no, yeah. Up until that point, I could drink it
Fair enough.
as long as it was like really just not even a solid anymore.
Right.
What about you?
I'm with you. I'm talking juice.
Yeah.
Juice, like straight juice. And if it came down to push or shove, all right. But yeah,
The moment you saw a roach head, that's it.
nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that place. I forget where it was. That they have this competition for tarantula burgers or something, where they have like I don't know if it's grilled. I guess it's grilled. This like charbroiled like tarantula on top of a burger, and they give you this big prize if you're actually able to finish it. But man, it's disgusting. Like the moment you take that bun, it's like nope. Could not do that.
No.
Ugh. Anyway.
That's it.
I ain't gonna bug anybody out anymore. Thank you all for tuning in.
I see what you did.
You
Bug
see.
anyone out?
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm just gonna go cry in a corner. Thank you all for listening. Of course, stay tuned. We're gonna have more stuff on our channel for our weekly reviews,
Yes.
for shows, for Legion, for Walking Dead, for coming movies, and of course our weekly. But until then, take it easy.
Oh, like and subscribe, please.
Right down there.
Yeah.
Peace out. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, there anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.